You're listening to the Telltale Channel. Don't forget to check me out on all social media: Patreon, Twitter, Teespring, and Etsy. All links can be found in the description or on my website, telltaleatheist.com. Hey, this is Owen. If you're comfortable, leave your first name and state at the sound of the tiny truck backing up.
Hey, Telltale. It's Clark from Washington. A good friend of mine recently deconverted from a very controlling religion, but he still wants to live under a lot of the tenets of that religion. And I was wondering how you'd recommend I go about gently nudging him more towards being free from it. Thank you.
That's an interesting situation. So, this friend of yours converted out of a very controlling religion, but still wants to live under the tenets of that religion. So, here's my guess about the situation. It seems to me that it's possible maybe they were kicked out of the religion. It was near my 18th birthday when I was disfellowshipped. I don't remember the exact day and time when it happened, so generally I just say it was on my 18th birthday because that's when I was kicked out of my house anyways. But 18 years old, I basically left the religion, but I still believed it for like 2 years after that. It was a really long time, and I was doing everything that I could to kind of try to live the life that Jehovah's Witnesses expected me to live, even though I wasn't really a part of the religion anymore anyways. I got married to somebody so that I wasn't living in sin. I didn't drink. I didn't really smoke. There was a period of time in my life where I was outside the religion, but still perfectly in line with their expectations. So, based on what you told me here, I would guess that your friend was probably unwillingly removed from the religion and wishes that they were on the inside, or still believes it to some extent. I would suggest what you do is lightly, non-confrontationally try to nudge them over a little bit. Just ask them non-confrontational questions and phrase them in such a way that it makes them feel like you're in it together. So use the words we and let's figure this out together. Ask them questions about their religion and start off from a position of, I want to know what you believe and why you believe it. Let's figure this out. Let them explain the ideas, let them explain the positions, and then lightly poke holes in it. Just ask non-confrontational questions about it. Like, that's interesting. It's an interesting point. So, what if this happens, or what if that happens, and just poke little holes in the belief system. The idea behind street epistemology, which is kind of what I'm referencing here, is you want to establish the person's belief. You want to know what it is that they believe so that you're on the same page. You may know what they believe, but when you go into the conversation, ask them so that you understand in very specific terms what they think and how they feel and what they believe so that you're on the same page. So start out with the what and then ask them why they believe it. What, why, and then how can we know that it's true? How can we test it? You got a Jehovah's Witness will come in and say, I believe that Jehovah is God's real name. And then you say, well, why do you believe that? Give me information, because if you're right, then I want to be right about this too. Let's figure this out together. Non-confrontational. And they'll tell you, well, in the Bible, the Tetragrammaton has been replaced with Lord, blah, blah, blah. And then you say, well, how can we, the how question now, how can we be sure that this is the case? How can we find out if this is true or not? That's kind of the process that you go through. Non-confrontational, you're in it together. That's the kind of thing that I would suggest.